Sometimes folks from the past that we don't want to see at all reappear in our lives. But that doesn't mean that they can't occur, abruptly and very gladly come to an end. Alex is the owner of an American wealth worth several $1,000,000. The man was alone in his lavish Malibu home, had very few friends. Alex devoted all of his time to creating a prosperous for the most part. Business lacked the drive and strength to succeed. The man's ex-wife Courtney was his only relative before he achieved success. She left her marriage. If the mom hadn't brought her daughter Eva along, everything would have been fine, whom Alex adored a lot. Initially, the man wrote to the girl and sent her presents and notes, but after some time, Courtney left without leaving a new address. Despite his efforts to find his daughter, he had no knowledge of her since that time. The moment his wife departed, Alex's business exploded. He started his own company and enjoyed considerable commercial success. Alex took a chance by using the borrowed funds to fund a startup that nobody thought would be successful. He was not interrupted as he worked non-stop. The man's work helped him recover from what had transpired. And Alex made millions of dollars very soon. The man frequently reflected on his young daughter, to whom he looked up. The girl and the woman immediately vanished. Alex also decided against starting a new family out of concern that the trauma from his past would recur. He simply lost faith in women. He continued to work, have casual relationships, and think about his kid. But everything changed one day. After work, Alex was drowsily watching TV when the name of the story's heroine abruptly drew his attention. It carried his daughter's name. And miserable girl living in a trailer with twins and barely making ends meet was the subject of the narrative. And she resembled his Eva quite a little. That was his daughter, of course. The man was completely clueless. As a decent mother, Courtney had always allowed her daughter and grandkids to live in squalor. How did this come about? According to the article, there was an account where money could be donated to help an impoverished single mother. Alex got in touch with a television firm he knew well right away. He was given Eva's address by a friend. He recently learned about his daughter for the first time in a long time. Alex went to Eva's flat in the morning. His daughter flung open the door for him. Such a visit left her in a state of shock. Even though she hadn't seen her father in years, Eva recognized him right away. She was not content to watch him, though. Eva started crying right away and accusing the dad of not caring about his daughter. Alex did not anticipate this. Throughout the years that he hadn't seen his daughter, he had been thinking about her. And almost 12 years had passed. When his daughter was 8 years old, the father had last seen her. Eva began yelling at her father for leaving her mother and for having never shown any affection for her. Despite the fact that she had already left her husband, Courtney nevertheless told her daughter that Eva had always assumed that her father didn't want to raise her because he had destroyed the family. Naturally, Courtney did not offer her daughter any presents. Eva was told by Alex that he had been looking for her for years. He claimed that after sending toys and letters, the correspondence began to return since the intended receiver was no longer at the proper address. So the father missed seeing his daughter. What he said stunned Eva because she thought her father had abandoned her. And the girl had nowhere to turn when she found herself in a terrible situation. The girl had a very tough time because her stepfather, who had married someone else, had no interest in learning anything about the girl. When Eva became pregnant, the boyfriend abandoned the poor girl with nothing to her name. The girl began sewing, and she was quite good at it, in order to provide food and clothing for the kids. It turned out that she was naturally gifted at it. She only had enough money for the ancient trailer and her living bills. Of course, Alex managed to free his daughter and the twins from their deplorable residence. The reunited family was now without hope and lived in a lavish mansion. Eva keeps on sewing because there is a great demand for her clothing. Her one regret is that she didn't look for her father and instead trusted her mother. And Alex is concerned because he neglected to pay the daughter a visit during the months when he was aware of her mother's residence. Now that the twins have been raised, the father and daughter are catching up. They talk non-stop and share stories about their lives apart. Loneliness has no longer a place in Alex's home. Life can provide the most amazing tales that could be the subject of a book or a film. Additionally, circumstances frequently change for the better just by accident, as if someone up above wanted it to. After all, if Alex hadn't been watching TV that evening, the father and daughter would never have crossed paths. Friends, that's all for now. Remember to subscribe and post comments before you depart.